I'm Rajan Krishnamani. I'm a heart failure specialist working at Atrium Medical Center with Advanced Cardiovascular Institute. Congestive heart failure is a serious medical condition where the heart is unable to pump enough blood to meet the demands of the various organs of the body. Congestive heart failure does not mean that the heart is going to stop or has stopped. What it means is that the heart is not able to pump enough blood, so there is an increase in the backflow of the blood into the lungs, and which causes patients to have shortness of breath. On the right side, again, this back pressure and congestion can cause swelling of the feet and sometimes swelling of the stomach. There is a reduction in appetite, and since the muscles are not getting enough blood, you feel very tired and fatigued, and your exercise tolerance comes down. Congestive heart failure in most of the patients is caused by damage to the heart muscle following a heart attack, and physicians use the term ischemic cardiomyopathy. However, there are various other conditions which again can cause weakness of the heart muscle. Sometimes it runs in families. There are certain drugs and toxins that can cause weakening of the heart muscle, like significant alcohol use or cocaine use. In many patients, it is secondary to problems with the heart valves or rhythm problems of the heart. In patients who are diabetic and have high blood pressure, they are more likely to have stiffness of the heart muscle and have more likely to have diastolic heart failure as well. Firstly, the diagnosis of congestive heart failure has to be confirmed. Now, usually the physician can take a history, examine the patient, and then arrange for some tests which can help to diagnose heart failure. We usually use an electrocardiogram or an EKG, which is an electrical tracing of the heart, an echocardiogram, which is an ultrasound of the heart, and some blood test to identify heart failure. Once heart failure is identified, the physicians may order other tests to find out if there is a specific reason for the patient to have heart failure. Now, once the heart failure is diagnosed, then we start looking into what are the treatment options. Diet is extremely important. You need to watch a low salt diet. The amount of fluid you intake also needs to be regulated, especially in people who are having advanced heart failure. There are certain medications which can help to reduce the progression of heart failure, and in some conditions can actually help to improve the heart function. You need to partner with your physicians to know how these medications work and what the side effects of the medications are and how to regulate the use of these medications. Medication and dietary non-compliance are one of the common causes for patients with heart failure to get readmitted to the hospital with acute decompensated heart failure, where patients have more symptoms and need to come to the emergency room for further treatment. You need to communicate with your family physician if you have a family history or a family member who has had problems with their heart. If you have hypertension and diabetes, these needs to be kept in control to prevent development of heart failure. Now, these patients are at risk for heart failure. Also, you need to avoid toxins to the heart like significant alcohol use and cocaine use, because these can cause further weakening of the heart muscle. It is also important to keep your cholesterol under check, as this can predispose somebody to have a heart attack and then cause weakening of the heart muscle. If you have a very strong family history, your physician may arrange for you to have a screening echocardiogram to evaluate the heart function and see whether you have any evidence of asymptomatic LV systolic dysfunction, which means that you have not developed symptoms of heart failure, but you do have some weakness of the heart muscle. In medical terms, we call it as stage B heart failure. The sooner we diagnose somebody to have systolic dysfunction and the earlier the treatment is started, the less the progression of the disease is. And that has been shown in clinical trials as well, where the rate of progression to heart failure has been reduced. So there is more and more stress to find out patients early on for having problems so that we can prevent this progressive condition. Heart failure is one chronic condition which has a very high mortality rate. The 10-year mortality rate can be as high as 40%. Now, this can be significantly reduced if you partner with your physicians, be compliant with your medications, and know to identify signs and symptoms of worsening of your clinical condition so that it can be treated early on, and this can actually even prevent a hospitalization. There's a huge push to reduce the readmission rate in heart failure. If you get admitted to the hospital with heart failure, there is a 1 in 4 chance that you will be readmitted to the hospital within the next 30 days with another episode of heart failure. So given that high incidence, it is very, very important that you do follow up with a physician, preferably within a week of discharge from the hospital, so that your medications can be adjusted. Sometimes, even though the patients are taking the medications on an appropriate basis, if you take some over-the-counter medications, this can interact and reduce the efficacy of your heart failure medications and cause another worsening of your symptoms. With adequate treatment, most patients with congestive heart failure can live an active life. So it is not all doom and gloom. It is important that you partner with your physicians and get to know your medications and to self-adjust your treatment options. Exercise is good in heart failure. We would prefer you to walk, jog, run, get to your ideal body weight. Isometric exercises, however, are not recommended in patients with advanced heart failure.